We do. I named Stephen Duncan the starting quarterback. Thought it was a very close battle. I thought both him and Ty's story were really pretty even, to be honest with you. Told both those guys I'm just going to go with my first instinct. First instinct is to run Stephen out there. Ty will play. He'll have a role. It's going to be competition every single day, and but we'll run Ty out there. I don't want to get in a quarterback spinning wheel. But, if the guy's not performing, then we'll go next man up. But Ty will be the first one. Stephen will be the first one to run out there.
What is the instinct that you lean on, to go with Stephen over
I
Ty?
wish I could tell you. I've said, hey, I just feel comfortable with him running out there first. Both of them did a great job. Both of them can help us win. Both of them have different skill traits. Really not one guy stood out.
Mm-hmm.
Both guys did some good things, made mistakes. I wish I could look both those men in the eye and say, here's why, but I'm going on gut instinct, and a lot of times for the guy that's not the quarterback, that's hard to swallow. Ty's done a great job of being a great teammate, and we're going to need him to win.
You mentioned it hard to swallow. How did he take that?
He outstanding, like a pro, like he should.
Mm-hmm.
He's here right now. He's here for the team and doing what he needs to do. And all our quarterbacks do a great job. It's not just going to be, hey, Steven or Ty. I think Shanley and KT can run out there and give us what we need to win. So I want all those quarterbacks feeling like, hey, it's a long season. Nothing ever stays the same. And I got to be ready to perform when my number's called. So it's an all-for-one mentality.
If there is something that separates those two, what was it? What do you think that would be that gives Steven
I would
that
probably
edge?
say right now, Steven from just has a little bit of a stronger arm to maybe make a couple throws. And I hate to say that because Ty can make all the same throws too, and it doesn't really go to that. It just goes to, I got to look too many in the eye. I got to pick one, and that's the one I picked.
I'd imagine it was a tough decision to have to dismiss two players over the weekend. What was kind of the decision-making process?
It's really tough. We always live to high standards here, and our guys are going to always be expected that when they leave this campus, that they behave and do things the right way, and that's always going to be the standard here. It was a tough week. We had to dismiss two players. They made two really bad choices. They feel really bad about it. But that's a hard lesson in life to deal with. Our team had to have a hard lesson this week. And I think we grew from it, became a stronger team because of it. But it's very important for our football team. We represent this university and this town, and everything we do, good or bad, we represent both this school, this university, and ourselves. So when something like that happens, it's not taken very lightly. There's swift and immediate action. It is extreme. And our players know they're held to that high standard. It's also our job, though, as coaches. Not every situation's the same, and it's not treated the same. Our job is to be educators, mentors, instructors. It's our opportunity to give sometimes guys second chances. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But we're gonna show guys about what life's about. Sometimes you get a second chance because you believe a guy can do something, and sometimes you don't, and that's just life.
You mentioned.
Go ahead.
Back to the quarterbacks, you mentioned you'll play both of them. So, do you have an idea of what that leash looks like, or is it just a matter of when the game happens, you just sort of evaluate from there? If you're going in an open-minded.
The first thing is Steven needs to know, hey, I'm the quarterback. I need to feel comfortable. He needs to get in a rhythm. So that's the first thing, is try to find a rhythm for Steven. And where he's not thinking like, hey, another guy's going to be running out here at any point in time. The other thing is everybody, like I said, has a different skill trait. Ty's an athletic kid, can create, can run around, we can move him out of the pocket, do some things. He has all capabilities of running the system. So, he needs to have a role as well to help us win. So it's not a point in time where you go, okay, Steven's going to play a quarter and then sometime, Ty's going to be in there. It's really how's the game going and have we established the rhythm of the game.
What led to the decision to give Canada scholarship?
Really, to be honest with you, the guy, he's been here for a while. He's done it the right way. He's been a good student. He's played some. He's a senior. He's put in his time here. And those are the main factors that you look for as a coach. A lot of times there are 3 or 4 other guys that are very, very deserving of a scholarship. And like I said, every situation is different. But I just felt like he was a guy that, you know, we needed to go ahead and do that, and he's earned it.
I know he's a redshirt senior. Did you have any interaction with him or know him during the recruiting process or while you were here before?
I did not.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I've kind of just watched him, and we talk about it as a staff, you know, and we kind of go through it and say, who do we feel like it would be the first guy up if we wanted to do something like that? And as a staff, we decided, hey, he's the best choice at this time.
And I know us media over the course of this offseason and preseason, we've made it almost seem like your number one priority is to figure out that quarterback situation. But how much of a priority was it for you to settle out and lock down who your starting quarterback was, especially considering this team already has a lot of other leaders on the field and in the locker room?
Well, it's an important part of the process, but it is a normal process. You know, I did want to have competition throughout. It was back and forth. I mean, there were days that I stood there and was like, hey, this guy can be our quarterback. And then 2 days later, it's looking like, hey, this guy can be our quarterback. That's just the process. That's why you go through it. You know, guys handle different situations all different ways. And so you got to take the whole body of work through camp and then step back and look at it and then make your decision. So really, we just went through the process of finding the quarterback, and I think it played out well.
What's the status on Jaden Hunter getting eligible at linebacker?
So we have applied for the waiver. Georgia is also in the process of working with us on that. The NCAA, you know, they have a lot to deal with right now. I think our compliance has done a great job of staying on top of it. I mean, they're in communication with the NCAA, Georgia, constantly, multiple times during the day. Hats off to John McCammon, our compliance director, for that. It's just the normal process. I'm hoping we can get a decision by the end of this week. We may not. It may go all the way up to game time. But I hope we can get that decision made, and hopefully he is eligible. We feel like he can be. Keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we can get him in there and get him going playing.
What kind of role do you see for Malik Staples?
Malik's competing to win a starting job. You know, he's neck and neck right now with a couple of the other linebackers. You know, that'll continue all the way up to game time. So that's still an open competition for that job.
Will Manny Allen be here, or what's the status on
Manny is not with us. I don't anticipate Manny being here with the start of school. I wanted to allow that opportunity to happen if it did. It didn't. You know, my best wishes to him. He's a great kid. You know, who knows? You never know what's going to happen out there. You know, we may see Manny Allen again one day. We may not. You know, but as of right now, he will not be with us.
What's the transition now look like? As you know, you're going to do like a mock game, but you know, the next time you practice, it's game week.
Yeah. So the rest of this week is really kind of all situational mock game week. Go through every situation possible. Not a lot of intensity in that. It's more logistics, mechanics of the game. And then we will come back on Sunday. That is a Tuesday practice for us, and we're in our regular game week schedule. So the guys got a really good feel of it this week. So now they know what to expect, and they'll be ready for next week.